got the garden area all tilled up again. And over there are the tomatoes, and I think what we're going to do is plant them on just the other side of those two posts. He planted acorn squash, the vine variety. So we'll plant his taller ones, and then in the trailer I have the rest of them here. So let's get set up and go for it. Okay, I changed my mind. I'm allowed to. I'm going to plant this end of the garden first, and what I'm planning on doing, instead of having long rows, I'm going to do about a 20-foot row, maybe. Get all this end planted and see what it looks like, whether I want to go ahead and plant the tomatoes down there or let them vines grow clear out this way. We'll see what I do when I do it. So let me get things marked out. Okay, I think I'm ready. Anyway, I have these clear plastic tubes, I guess we'll say. I don't know what they're originally meant for, but I use them in the garden for planting. I have no other use for it. I thought Dad tilled this. It's hardly down there. Ugh. And let's see. Get our string. This looks like a not long enough row.
Yeah, he didn't till very deep. And the string, it's a cotton string, so it always gets saggy. So I try to make it a little bit tighter when I put it on there. Otherwise, down the road, well, it's going to come off once things come up. I'd say it's about 15 feet. Here comes the boss. And about 3 foot apart. Oh, good. He didn't see me, I think. There's gonna get his lawnmower. Drive over here. Oh. No. Can't tell. I think Dad might have used a brush hog out in the field. But Roy and I set it up taller. And so it's hard to tell whether it mowed or not. Mowing with the brush hog's just fine. But what's on our minds is possibly getting it so down to where we can just use his good mower on it. Yep, I hear the mower. Nice thing here is we have our own well. So actually, the only thing you're paying for is the power to run it, run the pump. Actually, if I known, I might have went ahead and tilled this again and tried to get deeper. The tillers are actually unless you have them set up a whole lot different, most of them only till approximately 6 inches down. Dad does have a small tiller on the back of that tractor. Hello, Dad. Yeah, sorry, Dad wasn't on camera, but he didn't know I... 45-degree angle. Start here and head for the tree. What the hell? Bird shit with a brand new lawnmower. The things we have to live with around here, I tell you.
Anyway, while Dad's mowing, my sister Kathy, we've always had a, oh mercy, yeah, this isn't tilled. Anyway, my sister Kathy, well, we've been for a few years now having a garden wars. And my sister Kathy, she put up a video on Facebook, because the rule is you're supposed to show you planting the seeds and this kind of stuff. Well, I think it was a week after she did her planting, she's showing pictures of her first green beans that she yeah, that's not very tight. The first green beans that she planted or grew, and she canned them. Well, she didn't think that my brother Bob would see it, and he commented that, well, that's kind of odd that the date on those jars are last year's green beans, which I thought was kind of funny. But realistically, I guess that's my fault, poor Kathy, because during one of the years, I didn't put in a garden. I think it was shortly after the wife passed, and excuse me. And what I did is there's I guess we'll call it an old senior center's place or whatever, but they weren't that old. But they had this raised garden, and so I made sure the camera took pictures of just the wonderful vegetables and everything I grew, even though I didn't grow one of them, didn't even water them. And that seemed to go okay for a short while, and then finally I don't remember if I confessed or what happened. But I did think that was quite funny. Oh gosh. Yeah, Dad was talking, he didn't want to plant carrots again this year because he says that they never get long because the ground is so hard. Well, there's two reasons why the ground is so hard. One, it didn't get tilled deep enough. And he tried, but you gotta learn how to work those tractors. And the other reason is they don't normally get watered very well, because Dad, his faucet, when he turned it on, would barely put out. In fact, I'm sure I could pee faster than that faucet was running. In fact, I know for a fact. And so I came over, I figured I was gonna check it out to see what on earth is wrong with it. Because around here, Dad's well has lime coming up through. It's white, little granulars or whatever. And in the wash machine, they normally have a screen in the hose, and that'd plug up on the hot water side because and you knew it was lime because it was black, little rocks we'll say. Well, once it goes into the hot water, it turns black. So anyway, I figured his faucet was plugged up or something. And so I came over to take it apart and found out that evidently must have been leaking, I don't know. And he decided to change the gasket, and he didn't have the same rubber washer, gasket, whatever was in it. So he put one in that fit. Well, that didn't work out too well because It's a frostless faucet, and you have to have the right size in order to get the water to go by. And what happened was, is a little bit too big, and you'd turn it on and it was hissing by it. And of course, when you have a well, your pressure, water pressure, is usually 45 to 60 pounds, unless you buy the higher output pumps, which is actually a waste for a house. If you had a business, or let's say a laundromat out here or something stupid like that, then I can see where you're gonna need the pressure. But just for your little garden, shower, and drinking water, oh sorry, good view of my butt. Anyway, you don't need a high pressured pump. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is, I think I'm going to plant Dad's peppers first in this row, because he wants to come by and just eat them. And I'm not sure, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pepper on this end and a pepper on the other end. So there's 4 peppers. So I might do that to the next row too, and then put the seeds in the middle, so that will, being how the seeds aren't up yet, that'll let you halfway know that there are seeds in there. But I'm still going to leave the strings up until things start coming up, so you know when you're hoeing weeds or whatever that you're not going to have to deal with that. So anyway, oh, and I kind of suspicion, by the way, what was going on around here on when he talked about the carrots. So I brought a shovel just in case, so I could dig it up deeper and whatnot. Pop them a little bit and they come right out. The roots aren't coming out the bottom, so these are easier. I'm leaving a big row in between, just in case we mow and throw grass onto it, or which isn't going to hurt anything, but that's my plan. Over here I have a 6 foot across, probably. And originally I was going to plant my hot peppers along this whole outside row, and as usual, put the peppers in a safe place, and I forgot where that safe place is. I got so many safe places in that house. You'd think that house wouldn't have a problem. By the way, I've had this for a few years, shake and feed. And what I'm going to do is sprinkle a little of that down below the plant, put some dirt so the root doesn't touch it right away. And then when it goes into it, possibly we'll end up with a bigger plant. And the kohlrabi. Let's see how many seeds. Oh, before I do that, I wanted to take the hoe And just make sure it's loose, and because you normally don't cover it too much. That weed's trying to come up already. So I've done nothing to this garden here. Dad's been tilling it and everything, and my gardens normally I till the hell out of them, and then usually I'll take a garden rake, as they call it. I call it a rock rake, right down where my row is going to be, as I try to pull out all these what dead roots are here and whatnot. But in Willow Grove, where I lived, those weeds were terrible. I had a big garden, of course, and by the time I got done weeding everything, you'd just start over again, because the weeds were so bad that they're already coming up again, and I'd make sure to pull the weeds up and take the weeds out of the garden so I wouldn't have any more.
I never did spray in my garden either, I will admit. I just soon not have that in there. But that's back when I was a lot younger. Well, not a whole lot, but during the summertime, I took care of the garden. During the wintertime, I took care of the cows. Oh, mercy. This whole row is going to be kohlrabi, possibly. Let's just play. At least the seeds are almost big enough you can do something with them, but there's still going to be a lot of them. In fact, I don't think we're going to be planting all these. It's going to be too much for Roy and I to eat. I think Dad likes them too. Last year Dad planted the garden, and what he did was, he didn't want to bend over, so he just sowed them, threw them all over the ground out here. And just to let you know, that didn't work out too well. I still have 3/4 of a pack. These grass seeds. I'm just going to slightly throw the dirt over it. I'm not too worried about them being in an exact row, because I'm not running anything through here that's going to mess them up. It's going to be hand-pulled weeds, or it's going to be, or it's going to be overgrown. Yeah. Since dirt starts drying out a bit, it gets really hard to crunch these balls. This one here is nice and moist. But our ground never turns as hard as you need to take dynamite to it, like some people's grounds are. So we're lucky there. It feels like I don't know what that is. Anyway, what I'll probably do is, I don't even know if I have to worry about tamping it down, so I'm going to take the water hose to it and soak it, and that tamps it down too. So for now, we'll just set these seeds aside. That means I get to have a whole row of radishes. And radishes, normally you can take and plant them 2 or 3 times a year as you use them, because they grow so fast. But in my potato salad, that's how we were raised, it had radishes in there. That little extra crunch, that little bit of a bite of the hot radish, and you have the color of it too. Yeah, I'm yakking, and I keep forgetting I have the camera on me. So I'm gonna guess that you guys are getting great butt shots, and I should do a normal dance, I guess, but we're planting a garden. I guess the reason why I'm not. Okay, I'll get over here now. Now these are easy to see too. They're nice little round seeds. I didn't show you the last ones. These are twice as big as the seeds before.
Okay, I planted the sunflowers where there's no string. And this string here, I planted the crookneck squash, yellow crookneck. This one I have nothing, unless I found my peppers. I got the tomato, these are the cherry type tomatoes. And Dad's bigger tomatoes here. And we'll probably be driving some stakes in, as you see on the background there. And we'll probably tie them together so when they do get bigger they don't fall over, because the wind blows pretty good here. And this is where Dad, somewhere in here, planted his acorn squash, which are a vine. And we have all this soil over here that we haven't planted anything. Oops, oh. Anyway, this is what it looks like. More cherry tomatoes right here on the edge, because we don't need that many tomatoes, but there's what, 4 per package. And of course I have everything else planted there. I had to go water my trees, then bring some garden hose over here to be able to stretch far enough to water the garden here. And you can see Dad mowed that field finally, and he mowed it at an angle, which gives it, when you drive by, if this is against the road, would really look nice. But it also helps to mow it at different angles so the grass doesn't learn to lay a certain way and then it's always long when you mow it. So anyway, grab my shirt, my drink, and Dad just filled up his mower. And I don't know if he's gonna start mowing again or what, but that'd be great. We'll see you later.